Well, I'm Tessa Smith with Mama's Geeky. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. I love all your little tails behind
Thank
you.
you.
And
This
you
is
even have Sonic.
my booth in my house.
I love it. I love it. Well, congratulations on
Thank
the
you.
movie.
Thank
I
you.
want to know for you, how did it feel to see such positive reviews from both critics and the audience?
Amazing. I love it. It's so nice to see, especially, if you've got a critic that is not a Sonic fan or doesn't understand the universe, it can be trickier and that they loved it as much as the audience is it's amazing. It really is. So
And
fantastic.
it's such a great franchise. I love the franchise. I feel like it just gets better and better somehow.
Right?
And I'm
Yeah.
like, they're so good, but I don't know how this just keeps getting better and better. My daughters read the comics, play the games, so they're massive lore fans.
That is good parenting.
I try. But some of the stuff I didn't even know. So they're like whispering things to me like during the movie.
Yeah.
So for you, I want to know because you've been involved in the lore for sure. So was there something you were maybe most excited to see pop in for an Easter egg?
I mean, this isn't really an Easter egg. It's pretty blatant, but the Chow Garden, I was so I loved it so much. It was so much fun. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they did the whole thing. And then the show and Tails couldn't be more excited. And it was really so much fun. I love that they threw that in there.
It was so perfect. And
Yeah.
then I want to know for you because you've been Tails for so long. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you've learned anything from Tails?
I mean, yeah, like, to even if you're afraid, you can still try to help your friends, because he does. He's nervous. He gets scared all the time. Although I feel like in this movie he really is coming into his own. Like he's more confident. He's part of the team and he's part of this family. And I think being part of the family, part of the team too, but especially being part of the family, I think that's what's helping boost his confidence. And, you don't have to do it alone. You can ask for help.
I see, and that's what I love about these movies is they have such great themes like for the kids, but also for adults. I feel like
Yeah.
too, lots of great lessons to learn. So how did it feel for you when you first read this script to see how much it was really going to be friendship and family at the core of it?
I loved it. I absolutely love it. And I loved seeing like you were talking about Easter eggs. Like as I was reading it, I was like, "Oh, they're gonna lose their minds." But yeah, and it's funny that they can put all those things in there that are specific to Sonic fans, but you don't have to know
Right.
to enjoy it. But yeah, to have all the family and friendship and lessons is learning how to do the right thing. It's nice to have that kind of, but also in an action adventure type movie to have those I mean, it's got something for everyone. It's really
It
amazing.
really does. It's like the
Yeah,
perfect combination of like
yeah,
emotional and action and funny. Like it's so
so much
funny.
fun. I know.
There's like not any joke that you're like, oh, that didn't land. Like literally every single joke, the entire movie is so great. And I do want to talk to you about Jim Carrey
Okay,
because he's incredible in this.
he
So,
is.
what was your reaction when you first saw him playing opposite himself? Because you're not on set, obviously, right?
Right. No, yeah, and I didn't see any of it until, I mean, I think I'd seen a couple of the trailers before I saw the film. But that doesn't give you the scope of what it is. And I just was like, it was brilliant. He's brilliant. There's no one like him. He is one of a kind for sure and so brilliant at what he does. And I absolutely loved it. It was it was so great.
He's so funny. He's hilarious.
So
And
great.
I hope that we find a way to see him in Sonic 4 because I would be very sad if that was the end of him. But at least to
Yeah.
go out like that is a good way to go out, right?
Yeah. They do such a great job with all of it. So, yeah, but we'll see. I know
Yeah.
nothing, so
I was gonna say you guys probably haven't even really started
no.
much of it yet. Yeah. So I do want to ask you too, do you ever get to record in the booth with like Ben or Idris or anybody, or is it just you?
So for the second movie, I got to work with Ben twice, although it was still very COVID-y. So he was somewhere and I was, never were there people in the same room.
Yeah.
But the third movie, no, I did it all by myself. The whole thing. Yeah, yeah. I
See,
did get to go to Paramount a couple of times, but I did a lot of it in this space right here.
see, that's fun though. At least you get to do it from home. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. That was helpful. No traffic, so that was
Yeah,
good.
right. Exactly. So what do you think it is about Sonic and Tails and Knuckles and just the whole gang that really resonates with different generations and even all over the world?
I think there's something that everyone can relate to in each of these characters. Like Sonic, he's just this, this exuberant energetic little kid that can't sit still, but also wants to do good. He makes mistakes, but he's like, he's got superpowers at the same time, so he's like, any little kid that wants to be, he could be that superhero like Spider-Man or whatever, like I want to
Mhm.
get bit by a spider because, same thing. Like you could be him, but then you can find things that you can relate to in Tails. You can find things you can relate to in Knuckles, and I think they're very relatable characters, and they truly stand the test of time. It's been, what, 30 plus years that
Yeah.
it's been in existence, and there's just something about, like, who knew a blue hedgehog? What? That doesn't make any sense. But there's something about him that just resonates with people, and I think he's just relatable. You can see yourself in him. Um,
Yeah.
and I think, and especially with the way that they've done these films so brilliantly, now we've got this whole new generation
Hmm.
of kids that love Sonic. I see
Yeah.
it everywhere I go. I see kids in Sonic stuff, and I'm like, do I say something?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they don't really recognize you, probably, right?
No, nobody
Yeah.
does. And I usually don't, because the times that I have completely backfired. They're like, who's this weird lady? Like, that doesn't make any, like, stop talking to me. So I don't. Unless I'm at a convention. But,
Right. Then that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah.
That's funny. Well, what do you hope? I know, like you said, you don't know anything, but what would you hope to see for Tails in four? Because I feel like Tails is growing up, Sonic is growing up.
Yeah, I think just more and more, like more, like I feel like in this one he really has, his confidence is certainly way higher than it was in the second. I think we could even go further and more gadgets and more in a more integral part of the team. But he swoops in and saves the day quite a few times.
He does. I love it. I love all of them. I love all of them together. And now we
Yeah.
have more with Amy, which my kids lost their minds with Amy and Metal Sonic. They literally screamed in the theater along with
Yep.
other kids.
Yep.
So what was your reaction? Did you know Amy was coming in before you watched the movie?
I did. I
Yeah.
knew. Well, I did. I knew. Um, So yeah, but I didn't know how they were going to do it. I didn't know how the scene would, end up, and I thought they did such a great job. Because I think originally she was gonna say something, and then she didn't say anything, which I think
Yeah.
was perfect. She didn't need to say anything, so I
No,
loved it.
absolutely not. As soon
Yeah,
as her like
yeah,
camera swung in, the girls were like,
yep. That's all you need,
"It's
and then her
Amy!"
face, and you're like, yay!
Exactly. Well, I can't
Yeah.
wait for Sonic 4. Congratulations on everything. I think this
Thank
franchise is
you.
incredible. And I've just loved to see all of them evolve and learn. And I can't wait for more of it. So
Yay! Thank you so much. Say hi to your girls.
awesome. I will.